Hello St Andrews, Miss King here, missing you all, hoping you're all doing okay this morning. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our maths work this week. In maths this week, I feel like we're focusing on being ambitious, capable learners, and that's because we're going to set ourselves high standards. We're going to look out for a challenge and we're going to enjoy challenging ourselves. We're definitely building up our knowledge and we're applying our skills in different contexts because we're adding decimals. Well, we all know how to add and we all know what a decimal is. So now we're going to apply those skills, put them together, and we're going to add decimals. We're definitely going to be questioning and we're going to be enjoying solving problems. Now on Monday, you had to add decimals in your head. We've recapped place value, so our tens, our unit, our decimal point, our tenths and our hundredths, and that is going to be really vital to your work this week. Yesterday you looked at method 1, which is the number line method. I'm going to quickly recap that now for you, and then I'm going to focus on a new method today. So hopefully you managed this yesterday from my explanation, but let's recap it. If you take a look here to the left, my number sentence in red is 6.7 add 2.8. Please go back to these steps. You are definitely going to need them until you grasp that concept, okay? So, step 1, place your biggest number at the start of your number line. Which is bigger? 6.7 or 2.8? It's got to be 6.7. Step 2, add your whole number first. So we're going to draw a jump and we're going to add our units. Add 2. 6.7 add 2 is 8.7. I'm not changing my tenths, I am just adding my units. Step 3, now we need to add our tenths. I cannot add 0.8 to 8.7 in my head. If you can, I'm very, very impressed. So we're going to partition 0.8, which comes from the 2.8, into smaller jumps to help us. If you found this tricky, add 0.1 every time. Use that number line at the bottom to help you and go from 8.7, add 0.1 is 8.8, add 1 is 8.9, and keep adding 1 until adding 0.1 until you've added 0.8. So add 1/10 at a time until you get to 8/10. I decided to add 0.3 because I was on 8.7. I can use my number line down here to help me to know that adding 0.3 will get me to 9. So that's what I did. I wrote my answer underneath, 9.0 or 9. And then I had to add 0.5. Okay, that's how many I had left in 0.8. 9 add 0.5 or add 0.5 equals 9.5. And that's it. That number in red underneath my number line is the answer. So 6.7 add 2.8 equals 9.5. And I could check that on a calculator to make sure I've got it correct. Hopefully you got on okay with that method. Today I'm going to talk about the expanded method, okay? Today we'd like you to have a go at that and practice it. However, when you move on to activities, it's up to you. You can choose, do you prefer method 1, number line, or method 2, expanded? Let's have a look. Here is my number sentence in red. 6.8 add 4.5. With expanded method, I need to expand my numbers out. You already know this actually because you've already looked at expanded method, at least for addition, perhaps for subtraction and multiplication. It's the same method. We're now just going to apply it to adding decimals. So 6.8, let's partition it, let's expand it, let's split it up, whatever you want to call it. So 6.8 becomes 6 add 0.8. I haven't done anything to that number. I've just partitioned it into units and tenths. It's another way of writing 6.8. Got it? And I separate that with an add sign. Underneath, let's partition 4.5. 4 units and 5/10. 4 add 0.5. Now make sure, excuse me, you are lining up, oh my goodness, excuse me. You are lining up your place value columns. That is so important, and you will get it wrong if you don't do this. Tenths in one column, units in another column, and of course your decimal point in one column that can never, ever, ever move. Okay? Your add signs are all in one column. They will be completely straight. Once you've done that, draw your line underneath like I've done in blue, and let's add. Let's go from our smallest number, as we always would. Add our tenths first. 8 add 5. 8 in my head. 8 add 5 is 13. Let's write 13 down here, but I can only put one number in each column. Okay, that's what I've done. Oh, I've got a decimal point here which I cannot move, and I've got to bring down. So I bring my decimal point down and put it between my numbers 1 and 3, between my 13. And 13 becomes 1.3. Bring your add sign down, keep it nice and straight. Add my units. 6 add 4 is 10. Now I've got 10 add 1.3. Fantastic. I can do that in my head. 10 add 1 is 11. Add 0.3 is 11.3. Oh my goodness, if you look in red there, I've got the wrong answer in red. I've got 11.2. The actual answer is 11.3. Right then. Lining up is the most important thing that we need to remember. I'm now going to try and share my screen with you all. Hope this works. Hopefully you can see my screen now on to explain everything, and we're going to do a couple together. So let's look at the first one. 8.5 add 1.6, if my laser's working. Ooh, 8.5 add 1.6. So pause me now and give this a go. Use the expanded method. Rewind the video if you need to. Okay, if you've done that, Bentagedig, let's do it together. 8.5 add 1.6. So I know my first step, yes, black is fine, is to partition it out. So bear with me, I'm on a laptop. 8, oh, I've made a mistake already. 8 add, how many tenths? 0.5. Let's partition the other number underneath. 1. Oh, I keep doing that. Don't make the same mistakes as me. 1 add, how many tenths? 0.6. Now I've tried my best on my laptop to line up each place value column, my decimal points, which could probably be straighter, and my add signs. Okay, let's add. 5 add 6 is 11. Here we are, here's 11, one number in each column. Bring my decimal point down, that becomes 1.1. Bring my add sign down, add my units. 8 add 1 is 9. Now I've got 9 add 1.1. So let's do 9 add 1 is 10. Add 0.1 is what? 10.1. That's it. You've got it. That's the answer. Bentagedig. You can check it on a calculator if you so wish. Okay, pause me now. Have a little go at 6.1 add 3.9. Okay, if you're listening to me now, that's because you've unpaused me and you've had a go at this one on with your paper and pencil. 6.1 and 3.9. Let's partition 6.1. 6 units add 1/10, 0.1. Underneath, let's line it up. Partition 3.9. 3 units add 9/10, so 0.9. Ooh, sorry for my dodgy numbers. Draw my nice straight line across, and let's start adding from the smallest number. 1 add 9 is 10. one number in each column. I'll line them up. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry about that 0. Bring your decimal point down because it never, ever, ever moves. Bring my add sign down. Add my units. 6 add 3 must be 9. And now I've got 9 add 1.0. Now you all know if I've got 0.0, that's the same as saying 1. So 9 add 1 is 10. Fantastic. You've got it. Amazing job, everyone. If you need any more help with your work this week, we've got a few Among Us activities that could be really interesting for you to have a go at. Just let your teacher know. D'abord.